There we go.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Are you crazy? I'll kill you all. I'm the greatest nightmare you've ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
There we go. How you doing, everybody?
Hi, guys.
Hey, oh. We've got a very exciting topic for you today. Thank you to Lex for it. Are you ready? Are you super excited?
I am super excited. It's kind of like not a topic that we have covered yet. So
yeah, it's something definitely different. I like where your head was at with this one. I'm definitely intrigued.
Well, my boyfriend's gonna help, so we gotta give him a little bit of credit.
Definitely. Very awesome. All right, so let's get into it a little bit, guys. We are talking about voodoo. Hey, Steven, how you doing?
Steven.
Now, the topic is pretty dang big. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So we decided to kind of cover different aspects. And Lex has sent over some really cool stuff that I would love to show you guys. So let's go into it, yeah?
Yes, sir. Hi, Jason.
Hey, I like that name, by the way. All right. All right, I'm gonna let you start us off though, all right? Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this is actually a movie I found out that I have not seen nor heard of called Hex Hollow. It's based off the Hex Hollow murder. Actually, the witch or the Wiccan that they believed was into voodoo was actually a male. He was a farmer, Nelson Raymeyer. He was actually into like white magic, which is like more like healing rituals, folk magic, which is called like white magic. People would go and see him for like illnesses, their crops, to like grow their crops, or like luck in the home, protection of their home. Like he would do stuff like that around town. And it was kind of like, back in those times, it was 1928. So back in those times, it had to be hush hush, because if you were a witch or did any of that, you were like a cult. And there was one guy, John Blymeyer, who didn't go to his like white magic rituals or anything. He just had like the terrible luck. His wife left him. Two out of three of his children died. He couldn't keep crop. He like bad luck after bad luck after bad luck, and he would see witches all around and kind of like get the superstition that it was all their fault. And so when he started pointing fingers at all of like the witches in town, there was one. Her name was Nellie Knoll. She actually pointed the finger at the farmer who did the white magic. He was more of like the darker side of the magic, kind of more. Hex Hollow would be a good band name. Yes, it would. It would. So everybody was pointing fingers at this farmer because he did good out of this superstition, and no one believed that nothing good can come of this superstition if you have bad luck. So he John got 2 younger boys who also had horrible luck living around the farmer, and they believed that he followed this cult, and they had this special book called Long Lost Friend. It was kind of like a spell book that they believed was like their kind of special Bible that he followed. They broke into his home trying to find that spell book. Instead, didn't find anything. Instead, found the farmer, tied him up, tortured him, and believed that if they killed him, that all of their bad luck would be lifted off, all of their voodoo or whatever the hex that they believe that he put on them.
Terrible. Never works that way.
Yeah. So when I found this story, it kind of like I didn't want to. I kind of was like looking at stuff like got possessed and like voodoo like rituals and stuff. But I was kind of drawn to like this one, and it kind of gives it the other point of view of it, of like outside not knowing what it actually is and just putting labels, I guess.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So like. Witchcraft just popped out at me, and like it makes me kind of laugh because some people like believe like I'm into witchcraft, so I hex people if I don't like you automatically, and I don't do that. Never do that. So this just kind of stood out to me. And so they tortured him to get rid of the spell. Didn't work. Bad luck actually worse. They all got convicted. Life sentences, and they tried to burn down the house actually to get rid of the evidence, which is this, and they couldn't. So they actually believe that he put a protective spell on the house that protected the house, and actually the house is standing to this day.
That's insane.
Yes.
Because I'm guessing. Look, it's mainly made of wood, so if you can't burn that down, you're probably just really bad at your job of burning down houses.
Right.
That's like your own fault.
Yeah, I can't remember where exactly it was. I have to go back and look, but it's still standing. They believe it's haunted. Local newspapers afterwards believed that the house was cursed after his death because there was multiple accidents in the machines when the farmers would try to crop or even try to live in the house, fall down the stairs. All kinds of weird, like voodoo kind of things that they thought.
Very interesting. Now this newspaper article right here that you sent me. Now this isn't all based on the case though, right? Like this one on the side right here about Chile.
Not all of it. I don't think so. This is just like a snippet of the whole newspaper.
Okay, for sure. Because when I first saw it, I was like, "Damn, they want to blame him for stuff all the way in another country. That's impressive." But all right. But so there's like some historical proof here, along with the movie itself, which is really intense. That's pretty awesome.
And then like these 3 boys are the guys that killed him. So like from the right, I think it's John Blymer. Then it goes Wilbert Hess. He was only 18 years old. And then John Curry. He was 14. All had bad luck. All believe that this farmer put a hex on them and it's all his fault, and blame the witch, burn the witch. So instead of like a home invasion, it turned into a murder, and then they tried to cover it up and they got convicted.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna break into someone's house and murder them, they're probably gonna hex you at some point. Like,
at some point, have to.
Yeah, you kind of deserve it. So it sucks to be them.
From that point on, it's been haunted and cursed. So they believe that there's something there, or maybe the farmer's haunting it. I would.
Heck mad. Yeah.
Spooky buddies.
I believe that is that's a new Hulu original, Spooky Buddies. It's coming out next year, so don't worry. No, I agree with you. Haunting this place would be like the best you'd hope for at that point, because you got murdered in the house. That's not fair.
Right.
But that is pretty. I want to go back to the house real quick, because obviously it's been modernized a little bit. There's some cords running to it.
Yeah.
There's some signage. Can I zoom in on that a bit? Yeah, there's what are those? What do you call ACE protection agency signs and whatnot? It is very interesting that I'm guessing they're going to preserve this. Then, like somebody out there is keeping this house going.
Mm-hmm. There has to be.
Yeah, I would love to get some pictures.
I would. It's a beautiful house.
Would you live there though?
I'd probably try to stay the night just to see.
Maybe inheritance kind of situation, like those actual, like the horror movies always play, like, oh, my uncle died and now I've got this house and the house is haunted.
Right.
How long do you stay in though before you're like, this is too much?
Up until they start getting aggressive. If they start getting aggressive, then I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm out. Fine.
That's fair. That's
fine.
Fair.
Take it.
I don't even want it anymore.
Take it. Fine.
Oh,
You're
man.
moving out. Short and simple.
But very nice though, because you don't hear a whole lot of the male witches. Like there's definitely some stories, and part of what I'm going to get into talks about an inheritance of land. This woman, I have I think it's like 3-minute video that we might not watch the whole thing, but basically she's talking about doing a ritual for good luck. Like she had some luck come her way, so they're performing a ritual to kind of honor the spirits that helped them out with that, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh wow!
So what I've seen, like voodoo obviously started in Africa and then kind of spread throughout Haiti, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, to Louisiana, through the slave trade, quite a bit of it, and because their captors were Christian, Catholic, and basically other denominations of larger religions, they kind of mixed together, and because they had no written language for it and no written history, it was all passed down by word of mouth and through a lot of really cool artwork, which let me see if I can find some of the more, this is more recent artwork for it, but I think, come on, let's see. I just want to find one larger one. That's large enough, I guess. Gosh dang it. Okay, maybe not, because I just messed up. That's great. Okay, there we go. Let me just. Hey, Gary, I'm sorry, I just saw you there. I will be right back with you as soon as I get this picture up. There we go. So there's a lot of artwork like this throughout the religion, mainly because they weren't writing anything down. Everything was passed down through word of mouth, and then they used a lot of descriptive pictures because when you don't get your own rights, they use whatever they could do in order to get the word out there, to keep the word alive. So these pictures and spirits, and like you can see right here, the spirit holding the two plants, one of them kind of withering, one of them's growing again. Just basically any way they could keep the word going. And I want to say this one comes from a Louisiana version of voodoo, and each one of them is very specific to a region. Like the same way you get certain dialects of like Spanish throughout Mexico, or even English throughout Europe, where like you can't understand one kind of English in Ireland if you're speaking English to people in Wales. It's almost a whole different language. It's almost a whole different religion, just a few miles apart or just a couple of generations apart. It completely changes. Like what we have is none of it being evil, by the way. There's very few things in the religion that are evil. Everything is just either you're doing it for a good reason or you're doing it for a not so good reason. But neither of it's supposed to be actually malicious. It's just asking spirits for help one way or the other. The same way you would consider like a hammer is just a tool, but if you beat someone over the head with it, it's an evil hammer. It's not the hammer's fault. You're the one who hit the person in the head with the hammer.
Right.
So whoever's
it's the intention of the holder. Exactly.
And oh my goodness, what I was about to say. A lot of it has to do with the intention. Like this next woman, I'll get the video out right now real quick because this picture, it ain't moving, and she's gonna move for us. So I like that. Come on. Now this is a quick ritual that she was doing. Is this the right one? Yes, this is the right video. So let's go ahead and play that and get the word going.
Wedo si lo a gran groupe balman. On va représenter en zone. Ouais, demo. Grand femme, c'était un grand. C'est grand femme qui était devant moi. Il faut se l'âme. Les lois soit pour bal manger ou bien j'en nous fait hier dans carreau c'est parce que bien des monde c'est malade bien monde c'est mari il perdu bien monde c'est travail il perdu bien monde sont bien chanceux il a besoin pour le travail yon qui savent dire Guillaume il retire sur lui pour le travail grand chemin son rite Carrefour c'est un rite entendez Marassa son rite les bas son rite Tamboua et grand chemin son rite chaque loi gagne rite tambour.
See, I couldn't do this because I can't dance, so that would be very disappointing for me. I've got no moves. It's just... Oh no, it's gonna freeze up a little bit. All right. Well, that's the basic idea of it. I probably won't play the whole thing so we can continue
I actually
going.
want to like witness one of these because they look like so beautiful and fun.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of religions, when they go into the actual like music, dance, and the ceremonies to them, they're very beautiful, like across the board. Like whatever religion you're going into, whether it's Islam or Catholicism or Amish traditions with those barn raisings.
Beautiful ceremonies.
Yeah, when people are doing
they
things,
actually take it seriously, unlike us.
Quite often. I mean, I've been to some churches where like the singing is so monotone because everyone's just doing it to get through it, and it's like, I mean, this used to be something that was really happy and celebrated because that's how you got entertainment and that's how you showed your love. But now you're just kind of like auto-tuning yourself to get out of here so you can go watch football on Sunday. Like, all right, whatever.
I guess if I had.
Oh, my eyeball. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I have to be in this mood saying, amen. But she talks about it right there, like the good blessings, the luck. You know, everyone's doing it to get a lucky blessing from the spirits. And one of the bigger, I think, items we didn't talk about in Voodoo yet is the Voodoo doll. And every time you see it in a movie or on a TV show or Scooby-Doo, it's always evil. And it's always like, oh, we're going to hurt somebody with this doll.
Right.
But
it's always torture.
Right. And it's like, I don't think that's, you know, like, why would you spend that much time on someone you hate? Versus most of them that I've seen, it's always been about like, yeah, you get the doll and it's a good way to put your will on somebody. Like the first thing they said was like, in order to get someone to stop caring about someone who doesn't actually care about them, they'll take the voodoo doll and they'll put it upside down and hang it on a tree to kind of shake the other person out of them. Basically, it's like, so it's really symbolic and it's all in your head kind of thing. Like either you can fully believe in the spirits or you can fully believe in the intent. And I think either way, you're going to see some result because if you believe in the intent, then, you know, your mind kind of guides you in that direction. Like almost like The Secret, that book, bunch of like actors were using for a while. If you believe, you can achieve. All right. But this is way cooler. I'll say it right now. So I got to pull up this picture. I'm going to just read off of it because it doesn't have that much detail to it. Like you can't read it if I put it on screen, but voodoo dolls. A voodoo doll is a form of grease, a magical power made in the works by a voodoo spirit. To make the doll part of somebody, you need to put their hair or fingernail clippings inside of the doll, wrap a piece of the person's clothing around it, and rub the doll against the person. So obviously, you're not going to want to do that to someone you don't like because they're going to notice you're rubbing a damn doll on them. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like, oh man, I hate this chick. She cheated on me. I'm going to go over to her house and just kind of like, doll. So
Well, you're picking up your stuff. You know what?
doesn't work. Does not work that way. I've tried many times. No X lets you rub dolls on them. It just does not happen. But oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That was retarded. I'm sorry. To make the doll just represent somebody, you want to pin their picture to the doll. You can write their name on it, draw their face or the likeness on the doll. And there's no specifics behind how the doll is made. I think a lot of people think that as well. But the one I'm seeing here looks like it's just basic stock and corn, like just basic like plants. I'm sure you can make it out of what's the like the Japanese for dolls and rituals. They use a lot of rice on the inside as kind of like symbolism for us, for what's inside of us. Like we're all made of food on the inside,
right?
So rice is a good placeholder for that. I think it kind of works for everybody that way because nutrients or substance for us is food. So make the dolls out of food. We're made out of food. It makes sense.
Right.
It doesn't really go into how to make the dolls themselves. It just goes into how to make the dolls represent somebody. And that same idea behind the likeness, the drawing, or the picture of somebody actually goes into a lot of chaos magic and stuff too. It's whatever works for you is what's going to work in the ritual. So whether or not you 100% believe in Kabbalah or you 100% believe in Scientology or something, as long as you're focused on what you believe in and you use it correctly to you, it doesn't have to be correctly to the whole religion, it seems, because each of these segments is completely different from each other. Like they had that ritual that we just showed, and then I saw another one that I cannot find the video to that had some women that were fully possessed during the dancing. So it depends on yourself and what you've been taught in the past, which I thought was really interesting, and it really resonated. Like I fully believe that kind of stuff. I think if you believe it, you're gonna achieve it. I don't know how to put it.
See, that's exactly what me and Marlene were talking about. It's like you just make it your own. If you believe it and you put good intentions, like it works for you, then it works for you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They would tell you about the time I was feeling good in Nala and on Halloween night and wandered into it. You didn't tell us about that part, dude.
No, you did not tell us that, Richard.
I better suspect to see a big paragraph coming up right now because I want to hear about that. Now, I got a couple more notes here. Where is it? Okay?
Yes, Richard.
Oh heck yeah! If we want to continue this conversation next week, Richard, if you're free on Tuesday night, we could bring you on. I'm totally down for that. Okay, so yeah, we talked about this for a quick second. There is different branches of voodoo, which all stem from West Africa, Voodoo, which basically is the fact there is one main spirit above all, and all these other spirits are how we connect to the main spirit. So not unlike, what's up?
No, nothing. Keep going.
Sorry.
You're coming in clutch. I like it.
Oh no, this is a pretty good one. It made me. They all connect so well. Like all the different religions have something in common, and this one kind of touch bases on what I was raised on Catholicism, because it's like the one main, and then you talk to the other spirits to get to the main, and it goes into the whole God versus saints versus angels. And it's like those different tiers of not who you pray to, but who is there to help you spiritually in your life. And the same way I would like, okay, wow, what would be a good example? Being named Michael, most people named Michael in Catholicism, it's after Saint Michael, because it's about protection, it's about spirituality and that kind of stuff. Well, over here, it falls more into line of what your day-to-day would need to be. For instance, taking care of your crops, like you talked about with the farmer who sucked at that earlier, your family, your personal health, your personal safety, stuff like that. And there's a spirit for every single thing like that. There's a spirit just for this kind of crop over there. There's a spirit that just keeps your chickens safe, because everything has spiritual energy running through it, which is why there's a lot of animal sacrifices throughout a lot of these rituals. It's not so much about the blood or the gore. It's about sending the spirit the energy of the animal, or sending the spirit another spirit to show, hey, I respect you and I need you to do this solid for me. It's almost like tipping the guy at the front door at a bar or something. I need to get in and I need a good table, please. Or I I don't know. That's the basic example. That's the only thing I could think of that makes sense to me, at least.
I like it.
Cool. And then gosh dang it, I keep moving these stupid tabs. To get closer to the U.S. as far as Cuba and the Louisiana voodoo, that's where a lot of, and I'm sure it happens in all of them, but this is where you see a lot more of the vices coming in, where it is rum sacrifices where they will spit and burn rum, or cigars, and then a lot bigger animals started getting sacrificed, and then it kind of tuned into Santeria, which is more of a Dominican and Mexican based form of voodoo. It's still voodoo, it just goes by a slightly different name, and it comes from slightly different parts of Africa, but it still has the same origin story where it was taken from people who were taken from their land, brought here, and to practice still they had to put overtones of Christian religions on top of it, and then the two mixing together made something. It's not that it's like different or bad, it's just it becomes something more intensified in some cases. Like I think we might have talked about a little bit about Paulo Mayombe a while back, where in Africa it's just called Paulo, where it's about sticks, where the sticks can either send energy or retrieve energy from spirits. Well, in Paulo Mayombe, the sticks are part of it, but it's to control energy going into something. Basically, there's always sacrifices. Right. A lot of blood has to be done. A lot of sacrifice has to be achieved for that. And it's all fresh gore. So you have to sacrifice something living almost every time that you pray to these spirits. So it became a little bit more bloody, but not for like, how do I put this? Not for an evil intent. It's just that's how the religion grew. And that's just what was the next step for them. It would be no different than the Greeks sacrificing a bunch of bulls, and then once they realized that's a dumb idea, they switched over to burning a bunch of wheat because it was cheaper to do so.
Right.
They had an abundance of animals, so they sacrificed more animals, and that was what that area was. And they had to do it anyway because they had to sacrifice and give the meat away, and then the parts that you usually don't eat were left inside of the ritual to fester and to give energy to the spirits. And that is, oh gosh, there's a whole serial killer cult off of Paulo Mayombe, which is a lot of fun to talk about, but it's also like it happened in the 90s, so it like wasn't that long ago. And it's still happening to this day. Yeah, like there's still oh fuck yeah, we'll go into it. We'll get into the whole thing. I got to do more research. So I got to go back and like full notes because it's still happening. Not that particular group, but there are certain groups of Mexican cartels who have witch doctors who will bless either their cocaine runs or the guns, or they will put hexes on enemies, but it's all for money. So it's become a little more corrupted in that sense, but it's still very much practiced and it's very much believed. Like you don't mess with it. Even the police don't mess with it. They have their own healers, not in the police force, but that the police force will hire. Like the U.S. hires psychics from time to time to help with police cases. They'll do the same, but with someone to spiritually bless the officers so they don't become corrupted on this case. I would just fucking blows my mind.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's I mean
I would believe it though.
The Mexican border between here and the U.S. is just it is very bloody and it's very intense. I think there was a period of like 10 years
they
where
don't mess around.
No, God, no. There was like 40,000 deaths in like a 10-year span, and we don't know about most of it. It's just like the estimate of people missing versus bodies found, and a lot of things, like not to like satanic panic or anything, but a lot of it was found with ritual and intent, and it was either fully believed ritual or it was at least to scare somebody, and it definitely works. It's scary either way. So it does go into
very scary. Like every time, like there's like it's portrayed in movies. It's scary.
It definitely gets you. Like, have you seen Serpent in the Rainbow?
No, I have not.
Oh man.
Serpent
okay,
and
I don't.
I'm gonna have like a huge.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm typing it in real quick. We're watching the entire thing right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna find the trailer real quick because I think you're gonna dig it. It's old, but it's definitely worth the watch. Let me see if I can. I think this one's a better trailer right here. Okay, pause.
Have you seen that?
I saw this forever ago.
Serpent and the Rainbow? No.
It's an older movie. It definitely like if you haven't, it's because like it's I think it's from the 80s or earlier. Okay, yeah, late 80s. But it's definitely not new. Like it's kind of buried for a little bit. All right, pause that guy. I'm gonna get the. Oh my goodness, I've done it again. I'm messing everything up on my end. I apologize.
We're grooving. We're vibing.
I agree. All right, there we go. Turn that volume back on to this bad boy. Full screen this. Go, Serpent and Rainbow.
From Wes Craven, director of A Nightmare on Elm Street, comes a story of the forbidden world between life and death.
There's a door to the mystical. And you just walk through it.
Somebody brought him back from the grave. And I want to know how they did it.
Death is not the end. I'll take your soul. You think you could take these people's secrets and just walk away?
In the shadows of the imagination lies the ultimate nightmare.
Don't let them bury me. I'm not dead.
The Serpent and the Rainbow.
I'll watch it.
Oh, I gotta turn myself back on. I totally turned my mute button on. Oh my gosh, I freaking love that movie. I gotta now. I'm gonna rewatch it because I haven't seen it in a good couple years. But just the title.
I'll watch it.
What do you call it? Good. Oh, Richard says it's a good book too. I did not read the book. I have not read it.
Really?
I will catch up. Man, this and then like you said, completely portrayed Voodoo in a scary, controlling everything way. Like they had him in the ground. They found him on an airplane. They're burying him again while he's alive a couple of times in the trailer alone. That woman's eating glass, and that's just that's 90 seconds of ridiculousness.
Right?
Packed, just
like what happened? Why?
Yeah, seriously, like you have. It doesn't even explain it at all, like what's going on in the trailer, but you know what's going on at the same time.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna stop fangirling over that for a second, but that's pretty much what I got for tonight, though. That's my overview on such a large quantity of such a huge religion that could be several episodes. Yeah. What's up?
I think one of my favorite topics. Voodoo is fun.
We should definitely come back to it then. We can go into more different stories. Mark for death, a deal with mock deals. Oh, we'll check that out.
Mark for okay.
I'm look that up, Gary. Thank you. Heck, another totally side topic just goes in the pop culture part because pop culture and voodoo are very like they're tight.
There we go.
Right? They love each other. They're kissing cousins, except they're not cousins.
I like it.
The Predator 2, Concrete Jungle, is based like half of it is about a voodoo gang that's trying to push out other gangs in the area. And they're doing human sacrifices until they run into the Predator and they get sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. So the only one stronger than voodoo is Predator. So just remember that. If you need help fighting a voodoo priestess because she's messing with you, you have to get an alien. I don't know how you're going to do that, but good luck. That's all I got for you. Apologize.
True.
I'm sorry. I just love the Predator.
Get Charles Lee Ray on your side. He always comes back.
Hey, there you go, too. Child's Play. 100% voodoo.
My favorite voodoo movie.
Oh my gosh, that used to terrify me as a kid though, because we had a good guy doll, and it was under my bed when I was cleaning one day, just kind of looking out with the hand reaching out, and I go down there.
I think they were called Buddy dolls back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had
Ours
wasn't even. I could put myself on a doll.
Not that doll.
Yeah, sign me up.
What do you call it? I would at least choose like a GI Joe or something. I don't know.
A GI Joe, heck yeah, all ripped. Small soldiers, but like horror starred. Ooh,
loved that movie.
That would be cool.
Oh heck yeah, gonna see the new Prey. Oh absolutely, Prey. It comes out in like a week. I'm definitely watching that. Or it might be the end of next month. But either way, the next Predator movie, Prey, I'm already on board. It's got a pretty Native American girl killing a bunch of fools. Boom, I'm happy. I'm
gonna watch it.
Oh heck yeah, and it's on Hulu. So just pop on Hulu, whoever you are.
There you go.
All right, I am going to stop rambling now. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap this one up?
Safe voodooing, guys. Do good things, good deeds. Don't do it for evil.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna let you go for tonight. Marlene will be back next week. She is getting work done. She's getting some self-tapes, and so give her your thoughts for that because I'm excited for her. I hope she gets the roles.
She's doing great things. I'm very excited for her.
Very, very, very. All right. And I'm excited for you, Lex, because you're awesome. And I love seeing you guys every week. We'll see you guys after you do all your rituals next Tuesday. So once you have lots of money and power, send some my way. That'd be cool. And we'll talk then.
Story.
Yes, Richard O's story. I fully believe that. So we'll talk to you guys then.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.